will provide. God will make a provision. He will open up a door. He's going to give you exactly what you need. And we hear it and we don't hear it. But to be fortunate enough to be poor, that will definitely keep you humble, because you're going to always need to rely on God for anything that you ever need in your life. I've been there. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I've had a job, whether it was legal or illegal. I had a job since I was 14 years old. And my attendance record is good. If I wanted to retire today, of course, because I don't have age, I wouldn't get my full benefits. But you can be working every day, 2 and 3 jobs, 16, 18 hours, and still be poor. Still trying to make ends meet. Still almost about to get put out of your house. Still going home to a refrigerator that may have bread, and that's a blessing. Wow. Still about to get your electricity turned off. Still being able to put gas in a car. You don't even know where the gas money coming from. Can't even keep up the maintenance on your vehicles. You don't have health insurance. But God always provides. Being fortunate enough to be poor. You know, it tells us in Isaiah 58:10, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation. It says, feed the hungry and help those in trouble. Then your light will shine out from the darkness, and the darkness around you will be bright as noon. Also, in Acts 20:35, and it always tells us at the very end, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Amen. And last but not least, Galatians 2:10. Still reading from the New Living Translation. Their only suggestion was that we keep on helping the poor, which I've always been eager to do. Now I know Elder Manera Shipman, she has a gifting, she has an eagerness to be able to go out and help the poor, feed the homeless, volunteering her time. She don't have much time. But just to be able to extend herself and go out and help. We have a lot of people in here that have a desire to do it or have already done it and still doing it. But truly, being fortunate enough to be poor. Fortunate is good. You know, for lack of better words, or the entire Webster's dictionary definition, fortunate is supposed to be good. Amen? Amen. Poor is not so good. Right. So how can those two even mix? How do they even go in the same sentence? Being fortunate enough to be poor. When we're fortunate enough to be poor, we have nothing. We have no one. But to be able to ask God, God, what is it that you want me to do? God, how am I going to get this meal today? How am I going to pay this bill today? How am I going to get my baby Pampers today? You know, how am I going to be able to provide what I'm supposed to provide for my family? And if you don't have a family, how am I supposed to provide? How am I going to provide? To be able to just be a blessing, because a lot of times when we're poor, we're not trying to be a blessing for anybody. We just want. We're going to hold up our bucket. We're going to hold up our sign. We're going to have our tent set up, and we're going to camp out right there. And everybody that passed by us, we got our hands out. But in the very time, and I've learned in the very time when you have nothing, God always show you that you have to be a blessing to someone. Someone other than yourself. When your body is aching, but you got a sister or brother that needs you to help them to move because they might be getting evicted, or they might need someone to help them be somewhere else that they need to be. You know you don't feel like it. Your body is aching. But you say, okay. Because in everything that you do and every thought that you should have, God, how am I going to be a blessing to this person? How am I going to truly be a blessing to be able to allow them to see you in any given situation? How do you see a blessing in a fortunate to be poor? How do you see a blessing? How do you see the light? How do you see God to be fortunate to be poor? Yes. But that's a very humble time when you should be able to see him. Because when you right here on that ground and you on your back and you look up, you ain't got nothing else to see but up. You'll see those beautiful clouds. You'll see the birds flying around and hear them chirping. You'll see The trees swaying, they're giving God praise because God created all things and all things was perfect because he made it. And they're on your back. But the most important thing that you have to realize is that, guess what? You opened your eyes. Just like Elder Byron was saying, to be able to get up out of your bed every day, not be depressed, not be angry, not be mad. You're a leader. So even the strongest leader have weaknesses. Even the strongest leaders get down on themselves. Even the strongest leaders ask, why me? Even the strongest leaders say, I don't want to do it. Not today. I can't do it. But even the strongest leaders say, God, I ain't got nothing but you.
That's it.
So I need you to help me with this. Because right now, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I made this mistake. And now I'm paying for it. God, how are you going to see me out of the situation? God, how are you going to allow me to see the greatness in you? Because I messed up. God, I have nothing. My bank account overdrawn. I have nothing in the refrigerator. My children hungry. They mad. They acting up in school because we ain't got this. We don't have that. God, how are you going to do this? I've been there. Right here in Next Level Ministries. 8 months without electricity. And the crazy thing about it was that was the best time that we had because we were forced to communicate. I was forced to not send them to their rooms and go and look at TV or play a game. I was forced to sit there and talk to my children. I was forced to be a mother, and I was forced to think about how I'm going to feed my babies, how I'm going to keep them warm, or how I'm going to keep them cool. Because in the summertime, it was hot. In the wintertime, it was cold. But guess what? We dreamt. We laid there and we dreamt. We dreamt about the day that we could just sleep on a floor of a clean place where we didn't have to fight roaches and mice and rats and mold and mildew and stench and urine smell and prostitutes having sex behind your house, people shooting up, gunshots every time you look up, police cars, ambulances. We dreamt about being able to get out of that situation. And when we finally got in it, we were so grateful and we were so thankful. But how quickly we forget. Because just as quick as God got us in there and we got settled in, I started going through hell. So that was my low point, one of my low points, because I've had many. That was one of my low points. And at that low point, I was fortunate to be poor. It doesn't matter that I have 2 jobs. It doesn't matter that I make enough money to be able to do a lot more things that I should be doing, that I am doing. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I stay humble. Because even people that's working 2 and 3 jobs all day, every day, they're fortunate enough to be poor. Yep. There's no worse feeling of being an adult. I can't speak for a man, but I can see the hurt, the pain, and the disgust in a man's eyes when they can't provide for their family. I can see the hurt because that's their pride, that's their ego, that's their manhood. For us, we can cover a lot of things. We can put a veil on it, wrap it up, put a tie and a bow on it, and keep it moving. But when you see the hurt and pain in a man's eyes because they cannot provide for their family, that's a hurting thing. I hate to see men cry. But the worst hurt that I see is the tears that it's not physically coming out. It's what's in their hearts. The words that they can't speak because you're a man. Suck it up. Get out there and do something about it. You a man. Go make it happen. You're the authority. You're the leader. Go make it happen. Don't cry on my shoulder. I don't want to hear it. That's what they get on a daily basis. Because we as women sometimes badger and beat our men down because we don't know how to nurture those hearts that God say in his word that we are so safely, his heart is supposed to safely trust in us. His heart. But even with our words, even with our back turns, our ears closed, our minds shut down from the man that God's supposed to have given us, the leader, the high priest, our king, we shut him down.